how good has been, but it's been a pretty crazy morning. I could say that. After getting up extra early today, get some work done, and then have a meeting, I packed up my stuff. I actually packed up mostly last night. Just finished up packing what I could, or what I needed, and went downstairs. The landlady that I don't know when she sleeps. I see her when I get in at night, and I see her when I leave in the morning. So it's like, it's pretty crazy. I'm just arriving to Sokcho. It's pretty crazy right now. Trying to figure out how to get around. Obviously there's... Okay. I'm gonna have to come back. Traffic's getting pretty crazy. Went from nothing to a ton of cars. I will be back in a second. And I'm back. That was pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy driving through Sokcho. The roads are very narrow, and sometimes there's just no lights where you think there should be lights, as in traffic signals. But the drive down here was nuts. Like, seriously, it was supposed to take an hour and a half, and it took well over 2 hours. And I paid the higher price. What's funny is I had a choice of two. I could have taken the longer time that was free, or I could have taken the shorter time that cost about $5. Well, I was like, it's just $5. I'll go ahead and take the shorter time. It ended up taking the same amount of time because there was a huge accident on the road, and they had to clear it out on the freeway, on the pay-for freeway. They had to clear it out. I mean, it is what it is, but just thinking, man, I could have just saved the $5 and took the free route. It would have been generally the same amount of time. Also, I had some time loss at stopping at a rest area, because I forgot that when I first got out, of the hotel, I was supposed to go to 7-Eleven that was down the street, grab some bread and maybe a cup of coffee, and then just go into the car and just kind of munch on the way. But because I forgot to do that, I was like starving on the way down. And so I stopped off at, I believe it was Hongcheon Rest Area. I believe that's the name. It was H something and Chung at the end. It was right before another one that was like Nurichon. I kept getting it mixed up because it sounded like they were saying Incheon. That being said, it was one of those ones where it was a rest stop. I was advised to hit one up if possible. And so I did. I went, and there was a Holly's Coffee, which I went and tried their coffee. And there was kind of this like fast food type of like street food, not fast food, street food type of area, where I went and got a seafood fish cake thing, or a seafood pancake on a stick, gamaboko. They actually called it something else. I don't remember the first part of it. It was like Henchan na or something like that, gamaboko. And then I got the walnut cakes that are filled with red bean again. I actually still have some in the car, but I wanted to make sure I got some of that. And then it was just a really, really long drive with a ton of tunnels all the way here, and it was amazing. Like, the tunnels were really cool. They had art, and like one of the tunnels actually had Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So when you drove, the tires that rode over the whatever the lines in the road would play the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it was really weird. And so, I mean, weird in a good way. It was cool. It's kind of shocked me. Also, one really kind of devious thing that they did was they have speed cameras, and so they know if you're speeding or not, obviously, and the GPS warns you that it's coming up. But what's crazy is when they do an average speed. So there's two cameras set apart. They're about 5 kilometers apart from each other, if I recall correctly. And so you went through a tunnel, and there was a camera at the beginning, and then you went through like 3 tunnels actually, and then there was a camera at the end. And the GPS is like so smart. It just like measures your average speed, because that's what they do, is they get your license plate from the first camera, and then time to see how long it takes you to get to the second camera. When they hit your plate again, they take the average, and if you're speeding, you get a ticket. The speed limit was 100 kilometers, so about like 60 miles an hour, I think. 66, maybe 65-ish, and I averaged 97, so I was okay. The car will tell you. It's really, really crazy to see that type of thing, though. Other than that, like, I pretty much tried to capture as much as I could with a GoPro on the road from Chuncheon to Sokcho. But it took forever to get here. And then once actually arriving into the city, like that beginning part, the intro to this, when I'm in the car, there was no one there. And I thought I still had like 10, 20 kilometers before hitting Sokcho. No, man, we just went right in, and all of a sudden I'm in the middle of the city, and I had to make like a U-turn and all sorts of crazy stuff to get to where I'm at right now. But that drive was intense, and I don't even know like how to describe like how cool some of the art stuff inside, just along the road, not even just the tunnels, but along the road. They had like a surfer guy that was made out of all these like pipes. They had like big flower pots that had trees coming out of them. It was just, as long as you kept your eyes open, you know, and you're just paying attention to the road, you would run into some sort of like art installation. They had these rocks that they're stacking, kind of like Stonehenge. It was just one thing after another, and it actually made the drive fairly pleasant, even though it was long. The worst part about it was just getting stuck in that traffic zone where I was just sitting there for like ever. It was about 15-20 minutes was the general time, I guess. And I could tell because my GPS went from arriving here at 9:30 to arriving here at like it was like 10 o'clock pretty much at that time. And then after I went to the rest stop, it said I'd arrive here at 11, and right now it's 11 o'clock. So I'm in Sokcho though, and that's what matters. There are a few tourists here and there, not too bad. The first thing I'm going to do is this trail. So yeah, I'll catch you in a moment or in the next video.